Hey there, and welcome to your weekly hit of culture. Today we're going to talk about one of my favorite topics, and that is leadership, because ultimately creating amazing cultures must have outstanding leaders. And before we do that, you may notice I've changed the scenery a little bit rather than the boring white background, whatever. I thought, we talk about environment and culture enough, so let's change up our environment, because that's going to obviously change our scenery, change the way we feel. So I hope you enjoy the greenery. And one of the things I love about leadership is that, I don't know, it just seems to be so elusive for so many of us. We look at the people that we look up to every day in our organisations to be the visionaries, to give us that safety and that comfort and everything that we need from our leaders. And yet so few people can really, look towards those people and say, hey, I've got an outstanding leader in my organisation. There's somebody there that I can just rely on, go to, mentor me, develop, somebody I can totally trust. And I'm always fathomed by that. Like, why is it such a rarity? And I've got a bit of a methodology or an ideology around that. And I don't want to boil it down to just this one thing, but I think this is like a key component of it. So I'm really interested and really rapt to be able to share this with you today. And so within the 15 years that I've been involved with leadership and, the study of human excellence, there's something that keeps coming up. There's a pattern that keeps repeating itself. And when you distinguish the people that are successful or amazing leaders to the people that are striving for that, there's like this big just red alert just sort of flashing. It's just going, there's something obvious here. And that is that, have you ever realized that the human mind is fascinated with the complex? If we see something and it's seemingly too easy or too simple or too basic, most of us will just discard and kind of go, yeah, I get that. I've already heard that. I know that. But what else is there? Do you know what I mean? Do you get that? So it's always looking for yeah, I've heard that, but there must be something more behind it. Like, successful people can't just do that and repeat that until they succeed. There's got to be a lot more behind it. And as I said to you, I don't want to dumb it down to this one thing, because there are amazing things that outstanding leaders do. But the fundamentals is what they get right. They do it consistently. They're known for it. They're trusted for it. They do it day in, day out. It's done at a mastery level, meaning that it's unconscious. They don't think about it. Yet when I see so many striving leaders, and I've been totally at blame of this, is that we look for the more complex. We look for the next methodology or the next ideology or the next framework that we can take on and say, oh, well, it must be that. That's why I'm not the leader that I want to be or desire to be, or my people around me need me to be. And I find it's just not the case, because they're not doing the fundamentals. They're not doing the basics. And what I want to share with you today is the 4 levels of leadership that we all transpire to from when we start out in some form of leadership, and what boxes do we need to tick, these fundamentals, before we can go further and go to the advanced. Because often people want to go to, without even knowing it, but they want to go to the equivalent of a level 4 leader when they're right down here and they're not even meeting the basic requirements of a level 1 leader. Okay? So stay tuned. I'm going to cut across now to some PowerPoint, so you don't have to take any notes or anything. You can capture it all as it comes on screen. And if you're curious, I've got a little bit of a bonus here for at the end of you to take me up on. Stay tuned.
Okay, and so here we are. So level 1 of outstanding leadership. So what does it take? What are the fundamentals that we've been talking about to make sure that you can achieve being an outstanding leader, which is going all the way to level 4? Where do we need to start? What are the bare necessities that we need to do? And this is what I've been talking about within this blog. It's making sure that these are a non-negotiable. So a level 1 outstanding leader models people who have succeeded in that role, meaning they're not trying to reinvent the wheel. They're proactive about personal and professional development. Always. They're never landing. They're never saying they've got it worked out. They know there's another level, continually looking for that next edge. They bring innovative ideas to the organization. So they're not now just being the follower, but they're saying, hey, what about this, and what about that? Let's try something different. They welcome collaboration and ideas from others. So it's not about me protecting what I know and using ego as a defense mechanism to say, well, if I bring other people around me that know more than I do, that jeopardizes my role. It's a total reverse, and realizing that in fact that's going to build your role as a leader. So it's looking to collaborate with others. They communicate clearly when they need assistance, and they seek feedback to improvement. So again, they're not just sitting there going, wow, let me just keep trying to figure it out on my own. I hope nobody figures out that I don't know what I'm doing. They just realize I've had a crack. This is all I know. This is what I'm capable of. Let's go find out what the answers are. And obviously they continue to look for that feedback so they can improve. So again, they see feedback as a gift rather than a judgment or a confrontation or any of those negative associations that some people can have. And there's also there, they support and champion the goals of others, which is an obvious must. We continue, they demonstrate sound judgment when making decisions. So it's not about being perfect or not about always getting it right, but there's definitely some thought process put into what they're doing and why they're doing it. They're reliable, professional, and they're definitely a team player. And definitely that first one is very key, reliable. So when we look for a leader, the fundamentals is we know we've got to be able to trust them. And when they're given a task or when they say they're going to do something for us as a team, we know it's just a given. It's not that it's just going to be lip service or it's always going to continually fall through. They seek new challenges and welcome opportunities to improve, grow, and contribute. So absolutely a must. They're always looking for the next level. They handle new challenges, change, and adapt easily. So we use the terminology bread. You know what I mean? So when something happens or when they get flustered, when something's potentially a challenge, it's just, of course, we're totally expecting this. Let's just rock and roll and make it happen. They don't get flustered. They don't get knocked off their perch, which would obviously destabilize the team because they're the leader. We're all looking to this person to steady the ship. And they understand the impact on others of behaviors, and they've got huge self-awareness, and we can also put that under emotional intelligence. So they totally get their actions, words, have an impact on those people around them. So they're very wary of the level of people they're talking to and how they can communicate the message most effectively, not just because this is how they feel or this is how I talk and everybody else should just lump it or leave it. And lastly, sticks to all commitments. So again, we talked about being reliable and trustworthy, huge level. How many leaders do we know out there that say they're going to do certain things for us as individuals or us as a team or us as an organization, and it just never happens, right? It's kind of like the political party, which I won't get into. So they must make all commitments. And so, like I said, I want to rush through it, just quickly go over it, but you've obviously got them here, and I'm obviously going to give you an opportunity now to have level one. And also, if you want to know what the other three levels are of outstanding leaders and what's the checklist that you can follow and grade yourself, or even if you want to go to the next level, is ask those around you to grade you on, which would be amazing benefit for you and for them to see what it takes to get to being an outstanding leader at level 4. So if you do want that, then simply email me at bonus@itsculturebaby.com.au, and it would be absolutely my pleasure to send you all 4 levels as a checklist that you can run through, keep, lead, manage yourself on and your progress, and wherever your gaps are, clearly that's where you need to develop yourself. So wishing you all the best, look forward to hearing your stories, and just remember, it is culture, baby.